Hello everyone, I'm Leftize, also known as Pranavermesh, and today I'm going to make something that a lot of people have asked me before, way back then when I used to be an active member of the Scratch community, and I just wanted to go back and kind of educate a lot of people because I remember having such fond memories with Scratch. I just there was always one thing that I always wanted to do, and when I finally figured it out, I was really happy, and now I kind of want to make it easy for everyone to learn. So we're going to go ahead and head on to the Scratch website, right? As usual. My website might look a little different because I do have an extension enabled that makes everything dark mode. So please disregard that, right? So let's go ahead and create a new project. Um, Nothing really fancy here, right? So actually, excuse me while I move my mic to here already. Um, so what we can do basically is we can delete the scratch cat, not scratch. That would be very bad. And let's kind of just make a loading screen, right? Because what good OS doesn't have a loading screen, right? So I'm going to name this Demo OS, right? Nothing fancy, just something simple. To make sure you're expanding evenly on both sides, or in a way that it doesn't distort the text. Make sure you're holding Control as you bring it. You can also do this for other shapes, by the way. So instead of just making a weird circle like that, you can just do you would have to hold Shift, I believe, for a circle. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, go ahead and delete all the circles I made. I don't believe they have added the center tool yet. It's a little bit annoying, but I'm gonna give them some time. It is Scratch 3.0 is still relatively new, so hopefully they'll implement it later on. Um, so obviously we want it to go to the center, right? So that would just be a case of telling it to go to 0, comma 0. Let's just make sure it's going to the center. Alright, that looks fine, right? Now there's this cool. So you guys might notice that there are fancy effects where it kind of like fades in, and this is something that once you know how to use, it can make your Scratch projects look really nice and add a whole level of professionalism, one could say, to your projects, right? So it's actually really easy. All you need to know is to just click Set Ghost Effect. So right now, if I set Ghost Effect to 0, you'll notice, hey, it's not doing anything. But if I do 100, which is saying that it goes to, it's basically transparency. You're just setting your transparency to max, so you're not going to see anything. But what's cool is you can also make it be and kind of get like a cool semi-transparent effect. So what we can do is by setting our ghost effect to 100 initially, we do a repeat 10, and we are able to do a change ghost effect by negative 10. And that's pretty simple because, you know, negative 10 times 10 is a negative 100. And 100 plus a negative 100, 0. So you're going to end up with a full image. And just to show you that it works, if I do that, you can see how it just had a smooth kind of effect. Just to kind of make it a little more obvious for you guys. I don't want to make sure the loading screen isn't too long because that's actually becomes annoying eventually. So you kind of see how it became like an effect, whereas if I had just done something like, if I just told it to show, well, first hide and then show, so hide, and then show, and then we have to make sure we have that wait 1 second look, right? Just to show you the difference. It's a little bit choppy, whereas if I can just do this, it has that smooth kind of transition effect, which I kind of like, right? And obviously we want to make it fade away, so what we can do is just wait another second, show the logo. Now, rather than doing negative 10, because that doesn't really make sense, because if I'm already at 0, I'm gonna, logically it just doesn't make sense. So if I do a positive number, it's going to go back 10 times 10, 100, plus 0, 100, so we go back to where we originally started from, and the result of that is kind of a fade in and a fade out effect, right? So boom, we have this. Now, there's a really useful block that I'm going to teach you guys about. So let's just say this is just going to be an example. This is our home screen. I'm just labeling it home screen. Um, we'll obviously edit this accordingly later on. I might make this a series because I don't know how nice I would like to make the OS. So just this is kind of just an indicator, right? So uh, you are in, and we can like that. Okay, so I'm not going to bother with the ghost effects here. I'm just going to do one flat click to look. You want to make sure it's at hide, right? So hide, but then, so how do we, so if I just run this, you're going to see, hey, it's hiding. It fades out, but how do I make it show? And there's a really cool thing. I don't know if you guys have done things like Scratch Junior, but it's kind of like that little email thing. Um, but it's not really. It's just a broadcast, a broadcast thing. So here we have a broadcast block. So just to show you a rudimentary example, I can make a random thing here, right? Now, say I just wanted to make this say a word when a certain block is called, right? So what I can do is when I receive message 1, I can make it say something like, say hello. So now what I can do here is just to show you that it works. If I click broadcast message 1, you can see that this person is saying hello. So it's kind of just sending a message to all the sprites saying, hey, if you receive this certain message, run whatever scripts you have to that is under that block. So we can go ahead and delete it because it's just unnecessary, but we do need a use. We will utilize this. So always make sure you're naming your variables or whatever appropriately to make sure they make sense. You never want to have, especially when you're doing actual programming. Well, this is actual programming, but when you're doing a little more text-based programming, variable names you'll see are very important. So you want to make sure you get into the practice of doing that right now. So we're going to go ahead and make a message called the home screen. There we go. So we're just going to broadcast home screen. Now initially we have it hide, so what you want to make sure you're doing is when it's receiving home screen, we are going to tell it to show. So that would be just like this. Oops, there we go. Now, if I click the flag, you'll see it'll show demo OS, it'll faint, and it'll show this automatically. If I click flag, it'll automatically go away. Boom, make sure you guys are saving as you guys are following along. So yeah, we are good in that step. Just make sure you get broadcasting down because that is a key component of OSs. And I see that a lot of mistakes are used with the broadcast, especially in a lot of OSs I've seen. It's totally understandable. It does take some time to grasp, but eventually, once you get the hang of it, you'll find that it's super convenient to use. So yeah. Now let's go ahead and make a simple icon. It's actually really easy to do. So I'm just gonna, I want a nice icon, so I'm just gonna hold the shift and make a perfect cube. Right, so to do that, you just hold the shift key. And honestly, you can draw your own icons if you're feeling fancy. I happen to be a horrible artist, so what I just like to do is just search up logos online, right? So let's just make the first one a, I don't know, a music app, right? So I could just search up music icons, images, transparent, and flat. Flat is a design style, so it kind of looks like that. I can do something like this, copy image. Don't know if I can copy, yeah, I'm going to have to manually import it. So, it was a little easier in Scratch too, but I can just upload a sprite here. So, if I just do download, I believe I saved it to my pictures actually. Pictures. Where did I save it? I have no idea where I saved it, guys. Oh, you know what might have happened? This might not be a proper, might not be an image. No, it's a proper, okay. Music. Alright, so let's go back here. Import. Go ahead and import. We have music. Yeah, okay. Now what I can do is I'm going to just convert this to vector, so copy that. So you can either do that or do Control C. Pretty sure it would be Command V on Mac, but I'm just going to scale you down. Now, it doesn't really look that nice, but I don't really care that much about it. Now, what we can do, though, is we can make it the same color as the ring. I'm just really improvising here. This is not really the best way to go about this. So yeah, we have something like that. It's kind of pixelated because we're on a small screen, too, so it's not that pretty either, so it's going to kind of become blurry. So yeah, we have our first kind of icon there. So now we want to take the code we have for the home screen and just kind of copy and paste it into that. So now you'll see that the icon hides along. So yeah, as you can see, it hides, and we see it here. So now let's add a little hover effect, right? Because if you look at elements here, we can see this kind of, as you see, I'm hovering over Microsoft Word, and you kind of see that hover effect kind of indicates what you're looking at, right? So let's kind of do that here. We're going to be using the graphical capabilities, the looks, I should say. So all you have to do here is do a one side click, duplicate, and you're going to use a cool thing called forever, which basically keeps running it. I'm pretty sure there should be some limitation. I don't know how Scratch handles it though, but eventually, when you do, I know in other programming languages you get a memory leak after some time, or not memory leak, you get some issue regarding memory or something. It might be a memory leak, I don't quite remember. But anyway, we have one flag click here, and then if then else, sensing, touching mouse pointer, and so basically what we're saying here is it's gonna run in this little if statement. It's gonna run if we're touching this icon. See, as you can see right now, it's gonna say false. But I don't know how to like kind of maybe I don't know how to do it. But if I was able to click at the same time, it would say true. But because I'm not touching it right now, it's saying false. So what I can do, we'll just kind of show you more details. I want to make sure you guys can truly understand it before we use the fancy effects. So basically, if it's touching the mouse pointer, we'll just say it's touching. And if not, we're just going to say that it's not touching. So not touching. So let me put this in a forever loop. So it keeps checking. So as you can see, not touching, but it's touching, not touching, not touching. So it's pretty simple, straightforward. So now rather than making it say that, why not make it have a fade effect like we see in many operating systems? So it's pretty easy. All you have to do is, there's a cool graphic effect called, I believe, brightness. So let me go ahead and find it. So here we have set color effect. Don't do change color effect because you'll see that, I mean not change color, change brightness effect. You're going to see that it's going to keep applying it and eventually it's going to become so dark. So you want to make sure you're doing set. Don't do color effect, do brightness effect. And I'm trying to think. I think by default we should set it to 100, right? And then if not, it's going to set it to like 0. Trying to think. 15? Is that too much? No, that's still too much. 10. 10 is a negative. And then I'll leave this as 0. Okay, there we go. That looks fine. Alright. I don't know why it still says this. Is this a bug in Scratch? Maybe I can do something. I'm just gonna. I don't know why Scratch is doing this. Does because it is relatively this version is relatively new. It does glitch. But in case it does do that, there is a thing where you can do stop all scripts. So I'm just assuming I deleted something and it's probably still running. So I don't know what's up with that. And as you can see, icons show, and we have a nice cool effect here. You guys can go pretty fancy with this and kind of have app indicators on top, but we're not really going to worry about that. I might do it in a later episode, like in the very end, finishing touches. So yeah, we have our first icon basically. Let's put it in the middle, macOS style. I mean, we only have one app, but now we want to make sure when we click this app, it hides everything here and opens a new thing. Or we could do a Windows layout, but that's a little more complex. I might save it for later. I'm not sure. But anyway, going on with the theme, we're going to copy this, paste here, and you are in the music. kind of just have it centered appropriately. And here we have there, the music app. And I'm just going to do a when flag click motion, go to 0 tab 0, and now you'll see it's going to center, but now it's a mess because everything's showing. So we want to make sure no matter what, if the user decides to press the flag while in the music app, it's hiding. So we're just going to do that by one flag click, look, and we're going to hide. Now, we also want to make sure that if the home screen is being displayed, we also want to hide. So we'll just go ahead and do that. So now you'll see it's hidden. But now when it receives the image app, so when I receive music open, we are going to show. Man, they should really move that to the top. It's a little annoying. So if I click the flag, hopefully if everything goes accordingly, oh yeah, it won't work. I have to make sure when I click this, it's going to broadcast, not that, it's going to broadcast the message, open music. So when the spray is clicked, I can just do broadcast music open. And if I do that, demo OS, like that. Now, the problem is this won't hide, so what I have to do is when I receive music open, I'm going to hide. And we're going to have to do the same thing to that. And now if I do that, like that, boom, you're on the music app. Now let's make a really quick exit button. So kind of just like a tiny circle. Make it be red. And just have a little, no, that's too, that's a little bad. Let's just make this be transparent, right? And then we're gonna have this be a light kind of red. And then let's put an X button, like a little X. Where's the X? Okay, there we go. And trying to pick a right font. That will look ideal. So yeah, let's go retro. Yeah, we're going retro again. So we're just gonna select white. It's pretty easy, I believe. So set brightness. Completely forget how to do this. There is a way to get white. I am completely blanking it right now. I was blanking up in white. I actually do that. I'm super convenient right now. You can't. Am I doing something wrong? Wow, I feel really like dumb right now. No, there's definitely a way. I'm just not. If I do this, no matter what, it's gonna always. Alright, well, I don't know what's going on. So we're just gonna do that. That might not be, but that's just me being dumb and completely forgetting how to select white. But disregarding that, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and make this bigger. And no matter what I do, oh, I know why. I think I'm supposed to be using control now. Yeah, there. That makes sense. Okay. So now if I put the X there, this is going to be our exit, and we're just gonna put this in like the top here. And now, basically, when the sprite is clicked, we're just going to tell it to broadcast home. So we're going to broadcast home screen, and we're also going to hide. Looks hide. And then we also wanted to make sure when the flag is clicked, we also want it to hide then. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So now if I run this program, demo OS, you're in the home screen. Now, forgot to make it so when I receive home screen, music open, I want you to show. Lux show. Now I can exit out, select you, and exit out. So I think that's enough for this episode. You guys had the bare bones, and I'm gonna start actually developing the app in the next episode, so you guys can follow along. This is my first like coding tutorial. I hope this guys helped. I was going to do more like text-based languages, but I feel like I'm personally not at a level of proficiency to teach you guys well. So I'd rather stick with something that I know I'm relatively confident in. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So let me know, give me feedback in the comments, and see you next time.